Hello, my lovely Year 2s. Welcome to another maths lesson on Class Dojo. Now today, and all of this week, and all of next week, we're going to be thinking about time. Hopefully by now you've seen the video that I shared on Class Dojo, on the story, because it's really important you understand a little bit about how the clock works and which parts of the clock move. Before we go any further, let's have another look at those different parts of the clock. The main part, the part with the numbers written on it, the main shape of the clock, is called the face. Then we've got these numbers. Now on this clock here, they're big and bold and red. These show hours. We count the hours using this small thing here, this pointy bit. This is called the hour hand. So we count the hours with the hour hand. The blue dots that go all the way around, I've selected a couple here, but they go all the way around. There are 60 of them. Those blue dots are minutes. And we use this blue pointy thing to count them. If we count the hours with the hour hand, what do you think we count the minutes with? The minute hand. So just like you, a clock has one face and two hands, the minute hand and the hour hand. Let's go back over that to see what you can remember. What is this part called? The face. These big, bold, red things all the way around, they are hours. And we count those using the hour hand. And the blue things, there are 60 of them. Those little blue dots, those are minutes. And we count those using the minute hand. Those are really important words for you to know. So if you're not sure, go back, rewind, watch again, listen to me describing the clock, its face and its hands. Now you might know the time shown on this clock. If you do, that's great. That gives you a little bit of a head start. If you're not sure, don't worry, I'm here to help. This shows 3 o'clock. You can see this hour hand is pointing straight at the number 3 and this little line here. And the minute hand, the blue one, the long one, is pointing straight up to the top past the number 12. We are not worried about this minute hand today. We're going to ignore the minute hand. In fact, I'm going to get rid of the minute hand. Shazam! There it goes. Now, when we're looking at this hour hand, we can use just the hour hand to guess what time is shown. If it's pointing straight at a number, it's easy peasy because we know it's o'clock. So when it's pointing straight at the number 3, we know it's 3 o'clock. What time is shown here? I'll give you time to think before I reveal the answer. It's pointing straight at the number 5. We know it's 5 o'clock. What time is shown here? It's pointing straight at the number 1, which means it's 1 o'clock. How about this one? 10 o'clock. How about this one? 8 o'clock. This one? 6 o'clock. See, it's pointing straight at that number, just like the 10 o'clock was pointing straight at the number 10. In fact, it's pointing past the number, it's pointing at this little line that the number's attached to. That's how we know it's o'clock. How about this one? 10 o'clock? Are you sure? Of course not. It's 11 o'clock. Just keeping you on your toes this morning. Seven o'clock. 2 o'clock. How about now? What can you spot? What's different about this example? Doesn't look like it's pointing straight at the number 2, so it's not 2 o'clock. And it's not pointing straight at the number 3, so it's not 3 o'clock. Let's look closer. Yeah, see, it's pointing between the 2 and the 3. It's not 2 o'clock. It's not 3 o'clock. It's halfway between. I've put this line here to show it's halfway between 2 and 3. Do you know what time that might be? It's 2:30. It hasn't made it to 3 yet. It's gone halfway between 2 and 3. So this is 2:30. Let's look at some more half times. What time is shown here? It's not pointing at the 1. It hasn't reached the 2. Remember, this hand always moves round this way, round and round. Every hand on a clock moves round and round this way, clockwise. What time do you think this shows? It's not 1 o'clock. It's 1:30. Were you right? How about now? What time is shown on the clock? 4:30. It hasn't reached 5 o'clock yet. Remember, it goes this way round. So this red hour hand is going to keep traveling around. It's gone halfway between 4 and 5. 4:30. How about now? 7:30. Half past 10. If you're getting these, you should be feeling super confident. If you're not sure, don't worry, there are loads more examples. What about this one? 5:30. It's between the 5 and the 6. It's halfway between 5 and 6. This one? 9:30. Right now, you need to get yourself a pencil and your maths book. If you picked up a new maths book yesterday, you'll be able to use that. Your job in your maths book is to write A and the time shown on A, B and the time shown on B, and C and the time shown on C. Do A, B, and C. They all show 1/2. Pause the video if you need to, because there are more examples coming. Here are D, E, and F. Pause the video and write the time shown on B, then the time shown on E, and then the time shown on F. Now it gets a bit tricky. You have to choose if it's 1/2 or if it's o'clock. Let me put up the spelling of o'clock for you. Have a close look at G, H, and I. They might be 1/2 something, or they could be something o'clock. Look carefully at where those arrows, those hands, are pointing. Okay, I'm going to go back and reveal the answers for those ones. So get ready to mark A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. For A, you should have written 8:30. If you're right, give yourself a tick. If you're wrong, change your answer now. Remember, pause the video if you need to. On to B. B, you should have written 1:30. And C, you should have written 10:30. A, 8:30. B, 1:30. C, 10:30. D, 6:30. E, 11:30. And F, 4:30. This one here was a little bit trickier. Some of them were o'clock, some of them were 30:30. You should have written G, 6 o'clock. It's pointing straight at that number 6. It is 6 o'clock. H, 12:30. And I, straight at the number 5, 5 o'clock. If you're not sure on some of those, go back and watch this part of the video again so you feel really confident when you're spotting 30:30 and o'clock, because it's about to get a little bit more complicated. Are you ready? What time do you think is shown here? Now something is different. You might be thinking 2:30. It's not 2:30 because half is here and this hand isn't pointing halfway between the 2 and the 3. That's what's different. It's not pointing halfway in between. It's not pointing at the 2, it's not pointing at 3, and it's not pointing at halfway. So there's the 2, it's not pointing there. And there's 2:30, it's not pointing there. Let's look closer. Here it is. Now I put my half line on again. I've cut it in half and in half again. This was 2:30. What time do you think is shown here by this hour hand? It's 2:15. If we added another line in here, we'd have our 4 equal sections. We'd have our 4 equal parts. We'd have our quarters. I cut it in half and half again. This shows 2:15. Just using the hour hand, we can make that guess. So this one is 2:15. What do you think this is? It's not pointing straight at the line here for the 3. It's not pointing halfway between. 3:15. What time do you think this is? 5:15. How about this one? 8:15. 11:15. It's not pointing straight at this line. It's not pointing halfway in between. How about this one? It's 7:15. Now get your book and your pencil ready because we're going to go on to J, K and L. This time you have to choose o'clock, 2:15 or 2:30. Let's have a look at J, K and L. Look at J. Does J show o'clock, 2:15 or 2:30? Is it pointing straight at the number, a little bit past the number, or halfway between the number and the next number? Write what you think the time shows for J, then K, then L. Then we'll mark these together. Pause the video because I'm about to reveal the answers. J. J is pointing straight at the number 12. J shows 12 o'clock. You should have written 12 o'clock. K, pointing halfway between the 3 and the 4. It's 3:30. K shows 3:30. And L is just a little bit after the number 9. So it's not 9 o'clock. It is 9:15. 12 o'clock for J, K, 3:30, and L, 9:15. Ready for your next three? Write M, N, O, and write the time you think is shown on the clock. Pause the video to give yourself time. Okay, I'm moving on to the answers. Make sure you've written what you think. M, not at the 6, not halfway in between. M shows 6:15. N, straight at the number 10, 10 o'clock. And O, halfway between the 5 and the 6, 5:30. Here's your next three. Write what you think in your book for P, Q, and R. Pause the video now and write the times shown on the clock. Okay. P, halfway between 11 and 12. This shows 11:30. Q, just after the 3. It's not pointing at it. It's not pointing at the halfway mark here. This is 3:15. And R, straight at the number 8. It's 8 o'clock. Ready for S, T, and U. Write what you think for S, T, and U. One of them is 30:30. One of them is 15:15. One of them is o'clock. Which is which? Pause the video if you haven't finished. S, straight at the number 6. It's 6 o'clock. T, just after the 4, but not quite halfway. 4:15. And U, 10:30. Our next ones are for you to do on your own, and I won't share the answers with you. I want to see if you can remember. We've got V. What time does this hour hand show? Write what you think. Pause the video if you need to. W, look carefully. What time do you think W shows? Pause the video, write your answer. X. This is our last one. What time do you think X shows? In your book, write X and then the time. Now that might be super tricky, but do not worry. We've got 2 full weeks on time. So if you're thinking, my goodness, Mr. Scully, my brain's exploded and it's dribbling out of my nose and my ears, don't worry. Lots of people feel that way when they do time for the first time. And we're doing it without that minute hand. We'll be using our minute hand tomorrow. If you think it was really tough, send me a message and definitely re-watch this video, because there are lots and lots of places that hour hand could be. The more you watch the video, the more you see the hour hand, the more confident you're going to feel. I look forward to seeing your online learning. Send me a photo. I'm especially interested in V, W, and X to see who has stuck the learning firmly in their brain. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. There'll be more time activities tomorrow. There is nothing to do in your book after this point. You have finished maths for the day. Give yourself a 1, 2, 3. Well done, me. And I'll see you very soon. Bye.